Oh, it's getting audio feedback. Let me turn this off. Oh, it's getting audio. There we go. Oh, what a day. Is anyone hanging out yet? Maybe some people. Feel free to jump into the chat and say hi. Friday's sculpted a long time. Here we go. Mixed up my mugs again. I'm on one of my Go Ape commemorative mug. Circa 2013. Hey Tokes. Oh, I think I've got this music up a little loud. It's overwhelming. Hey Dor. Ooh, it's taken me a little while to decide what I was going to do today. I was mooching around on a couple of little projects. I kind of feel like I boxed off a project on Friday, my Goblin, and then we started Gus as well. And I also picked up. So I feel like I've started a bunch of projects this week. So I've got a lot of things hanging in the air. I worked on a generic head on Wednesday. Cheers, Dor. This is I've decided this guy's a little fey beast of some sort. I'm gonna fire up Gus, and then collectively I think we can make a decision. Because Gus is a Were-Squirrel, who was incredibly fat at one point in his life, and now is actually pretty hench, lost a lot of weight, and is a badass adventurer. So I'm not sure whether I want to jump into him today, or let's have a little look here. We've got this guy, who, as you can see, was named on the stream, Fred Rodnery. Let me see this guy. So he is this was a day when I didn't have a lot going on. Oh, what am I doing? I just played. We got to this point, and you can see I've got very, very messy feet in there. I've got to make some decisions and do something with the hands, but he could be cool. And in my mind, he started off being quite dragon-like, and I suppose we could still push him that way, but now he feels like some sort of fey, kind of woodland spirit. I mean, I'm not 100% set on the wings. I kind of like the idea of bushes and trees growing up his back. So who knows? I'm going to sit and think on this for a minute. If anybody in the chat has any opinions. I mean, all three of you. I think I might count as one of those as well. So I think I'm going to jump into my Were-Squirrel. I'm still not kind of wanting to make decisions with those hands and feet yet on the fey creature. So I did pull up some reference. I was I want to push this face into a more kind of John Candy-esque arena. I really get to work on some of this anatomy today, I think. Or maybe I don't. I don't know whether I'm feeling this guy at all, but we'll see, I guess. Let's get into the habit of using S to change my draw size. Just gonna start noodling in here. How is everyone doing? I had a pretty good day today. I worked this weekend. We had an open day, which was very fun. So I had to go into work on my Sunday, which meant I was robbed of a day with my wonderful wife and children. But I don't mind open days so much. They're kind of fun sometimes. And this was nice. I got to chat to some lovely people who are interested in makeup or making monsters or model making. So I mean, it was a nice day. But I'm pretty beat because that then jumped me into a week of teaching where I'm trying to make up from having COVID in that first week of the semester. So I fit in a trip to a museum in Liverpool on Thursday. So I taught all day Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday was with the kids at a museum. We saw a Quetzalcoatlus skeleton, which was pretty amazing. 8.5 meter wingspan. I came home and showed my son the picture of the Quetzalcoatlus and told him about the wingspan. He was like, I know what that is. That's a Quetzalcoatlus. And he couldn't say it, but he knew exactly which prehistoric flying reptile I was talking about. Made me insanely proud. Yeah, I had a little, very, very nice little warm moment of pride as that back. I'm just making up anatomy as it turns out. Smooth Stronger isn't even badass enough to mask my shame there. I need to pull up some reference here, I think. The things we Google. I mean, I've just typed in fat person, lost weight, body, and I mean, this guy doesn't feel fat. That feels like a normal person's body, and now he's pretty ripped. I mean, he looks incredible. Let me see. What I want is I don't want him to have lost that much weight. Ooh, Toki, you've had 2 days off work. That's always nice. And spending it making things. I mean, that I can get behind. I wish I made more stuff when I had more time. So is your cabin inspired by anything? Or is it just, I mean, this is not helping the research at all. I like those back folds. I mean, I could probably steal some of this. There's some nice forms here. He's a bit thicker than Gus is going to be. Yeah, so I had a really kind of busy week. Decided to pick up my emails from home this morning. My wife was beautiful and took the kids to her mom's. And I got to sleep till 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish, which was just lovely. But I put a load of laundry in and did a couple of jobs around the house. And I did me stuff, like I cleaned my teeth for longer than 2 minutes. I trimmed my beard and, I still need to order some face wash. I've been putting that off for weeks now, to a point where I'm now putting shower water into the little dispenser so that I can make what little is remaining last a bit longer. That's but yeah, I mean, I put grown-up clothes on and then I covered them up with a gilet because I'm too poor to heat my house, but you know, I've got grown-up clothes on. Feels like it's been a good day. Okay, so I mean, I don't want to spend too long hanging out looking for reference here. I'm going to go in with some slightly bigger moves, I think, and because I didn't leave my reference on the right page. Let's drag this up here. Let me see, so I want kind of I've kind of mapped some of this in quite nicely. I think that used to be a bigger piece, just one big. I tend not to sculpt. You know, most of my sculpts tend to be kind of, I'll stick with sort of musculature first. I mean, I grew up drawing superheroes, so this is kind of new and fun for me. I want this to be less of an aggressive gut. I think some of my friends have been calling this a gunt this week, which, I mean, the word upsets me. There we go. I'm starting to feel a little mini rhythm here. It's got very skinny legs for a big dude. And we can start to address that now. This guy's legs are going to be working pretty hard. Your wonky kits, I love them. For one reason, it shows you why expensive kits, like good kits, are so good. Like when you get a kit that's beautifully put together and is an absolute dream. But I agree, wonky kits are have a place in my heart as well. In that, you know, the amount of work that you have to put into them makes them truly your own. I went a little aggressive with that, but I'm still going to persevere, I think. I need to stop doing that, get into the habit of pressing S. Whilst I'm changing habits, things are moving brush sizes is going to be significantly slower, but eventually it will be faster. I'm excited about this guy, he's going to be pretty cool. I do want to get a little I'm just tightening up forms as I move around here now. Using my dance standard. This dance standard brush is great because I can use the edge of it to leave myself some nice sharp kind of creases, but then also cut across those creases with like a little wobbly line that gives me kind of a nice smooth transition of form from one thing to the next. Oops. Tap the bottom then. Let's just give him a little looking around. So I think shoulders can be a little bit bigger. He's definitely got the feel I want so far. Yeah, you're right. Craft knife and super glue will get us a long way every time. I'm gonna do a big move here, I think. try something out. I might have to do a little mask. I just want to try something out. Yeah, I think that feels nicer. Just sort of narrow this stance a little bit. Let's give it a little dynamesh. Yeah, I've got lots of work to do here now. I've abandoned all of my plans there with that move. It's caused chaos. The new school year is going pretty well there, Topes. I mean, the new first years are great. They're getting stuck into ZBrush at the minute, which I'm super enjoying it. I mean, I hope they are. They seem to be, and they seem to be getting it as well. We've got some. We're moving on to trad sculpting in the next sort of block of teaching, which I'm actually looking forward to. I mean, part of me is kind of like, well, it's not ZBrush, and I'm super in love with ZBrush at the minute, but I think it'll be kind of like going hanging out with an old friend. I've not sculpted anything traditional in a few months, so I think it'll be nice to go hang out there for a little while. We've got a new guy starting in a couple of weeks, and I'm excited to kind of meet him and see what he brings to the team. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. Yes, it was excellent English there, Toki. Thankfully, I'm quite adept at translating. Let's turn up the lazy radius up. Oh, reminds me, I was going to try out the chisel tool. I was ruminating on how the damn standard is great, but it kind of just it seems to be kind of not quite the tool that I want it to be. So in my mind I was like, oh, let's give the chisel a go. And I kind of another way it works, and we might have to do some tweaking with it to get it to do what we want it to do, but I think it could be a good alternative. Let's turn that lazy radius down a little. Softer edges, so let's put that focus shifter on here. Other way. It's still not quite what I want. I want the intensity to be higher. What I need is a brush that's kind of one-sided. That could be where we're at. I don't like how it's stuttering there. No, let's Not the right move at all. Yeah, maybe chisel's not the right move here. What's that to do with my stroke? Nope. This ain't what I want, guys. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time looking at my brushes. What's a good kind of scratchy tool? I think I want something like a chisel. Let's have a look at our brushes. Options. So many options. Ram. Let's give that a look. That might be a thing. Huh. Trying to figure out tools is fun. Maybe it's not RAM. Maybe it's not RAM that I want. Oh, you might be it. Let's turn some lazy mouse on here. That kind of feels like where I want to be. Like the little jitters on there. I think that focal shift is fine. Yeah, this could be it. Slash. Let's see how that works out for some of this stuff. I'm just going to come in and sort of refine and define some of my forms here. I do quite like that slash. Let's see if it'll smooth out, see how that looks. Yeah, that's what I want. Lovely. Just kind of redefining some of these shapes now. I did all of this because I wanted to fix this butt. What's that? So see what's going on with this stroke. Yep, that feels more like it. Oh dear, down to one person. I don't mind. Yeah. Let's see what we can get going on here now. That needs to move around quite substantially. Still want this guy to feel kind of powerful. It's nearly time for a brew break, I think. I've only been here half an hour, but I've powered through my cup of tea. And I feel like we're doing some good work. I found a lovely little cutting up brush. I think is going to be my favourite moving forward. That's not the right brush. Slash. This slash tool feels like everything I ever wanted. it feels like a real kind of taking a knife. If I press hard, I can really open up a space. If I kind of ease into it, it can be nice and gentle. It feels like the tool that I wanted. I mean, still don't think I'm going to be leaving Damn Standard, because I mean, it is fine. But I might be playing around a little bit. I might be playing the field, because this is a really, really lovely brush. I mean, one of the things I love about ZBrush is kind of every time I jump in and play here, I'm finding new things, and I'm sort of engaging with the software a little harder. Real nice. And I'm spending a lot of time talking to myself, which, I mean, that in itself is a strange thing. Just hang out for a couple of hours, talk to yourself. But I'm going to carry on talking because it's fun. I mean, at the very worst, when I die, my kids will have archival footage of how weird their old man's brain was. My wife can maybe come listen to me talk sometimes. Nope, not like this. Or that. More like that. We'll come back to that little move later. I do want this. I mean, I'm gonna have to use the word guns. This apron to be kind of significant, but not kind of too aggressive. So I'm blocking out torso here. I'm going to stick around in this area some. I think I'm ready for a bit of a just smash these two bits together. I think I want them to just be the same for now. It's probably poor form. I'm going to do another quick Dynamesh on that. So now I can start to get some of these forms to bed in a little better. I mean, they were very wrong with that, weren't they? They should be coming like this. just trying to grab a bit more reference. I'm going to jump into this face for a little while and play around, because there's some things that I definitely want to get right here. That don't feel like I'm quite hitting the mark just yet. Just playing around here, trying to find some shapes that I like. Pulled up a picture of John Candy for reference. I don't know how long or how well that's going to work, but I guess we'll just see. Let's see how well our slash body works with Alt being held. That feels quite nice. I mean, it's a little jittery. I'm sure I can fix that. Maybe damn standard is my guy here. Oh, that's too big. Over lazy radius. Let's just get rid of all of that work. I'll just take this nice and easy. Come on, getting that last move off. God, this slash tool is so aggressive. I kind of love it. Let's just drop this down and just tidy up a little in here. Brings up an edge. Interesting. See how this works. I think I might need a little bit more topology here. Let's check out my Dynamesh, see what we're at. 256, 2 million. It's quite a lot still. We'll just ramp it up a smidge more. Just gonna try and tighten up some of these moves now and just absolutely adoring this slash brush. It's super aggressive when you first turn it on, but I've managed to just give it a little tweak. So I want that to kind of come round. I've got forms smashing together here and I really don't want them to be, so this is gonna loop off like this and then open me up into some of these forms down here. I've got a very defined chin lump. It's gonna be, yeah. This is just me really kind of trying out some shapes. seeing what forms sit, so I can then map those in with a little more attention. And that feels like the right point there to have that bit of fat. And then that feels good there as well. I'm going to come in after this with a plain art brush, so something like Trim Dynamic, just to tidy up these forms. But this little map out should give me the moves that I need for it to feel kind of nice and coherent. I'm going to turn my intensity up a little bit. These are really aggressive steps right now, and I'm kind of alright with that. I'm going to have to soften things out sooner or later. Let's grab that slash brush again. Yep, slash brush is my favorite. Absolute, unmitigated, no competition. Especially now I'm kind of figuring out how I like to use it. Ooh, too much. I need to dive into these eyes and get those built up before I mess around too much. Okay, there. Ah, blackface mask, damn you. My nemesis. Thanks, autosave. Those eyes need to come further forward, so let's address that first. Oops. further still. Ooh. Just checking my moves there, because nope, just that last move that I missed. So I'm gonna. I think I've messed up some symmetry there, so let's just modify topology, do a little mirror weld. It's in the same spot now. That's this guy off. There we go, nice little bit of charge. Oh, no, wrong one. Okay, I did not mean it. Let's clean up some of this movement. I want more geometry. I'm getting into too little details here. I want more and better topology. Yeah, he feels much cooler now. Much cooler. I've still got some work to do around those eyes. Body feels good. We've got those hands as separate entities as well, haven't they? And ears. Yeah, let's just take a little minute and tidy up some of this geometry, because I feel like everything's in a relatively happy place there. A little merge down, a little merge down. I'm going to leave the tail off. A quick down and mesh on that. Time to go grab a cup of tea. I've been here for an hour. So, cup of tea break. Let's get back into this. I'm not a big fan of his moves here. I think I'm going to move away from the face for a little while. I think we've made some nice progress there. He's feeling kind of cool. Let's jump into those moves, shall we? So I think my issue is this. I need a much more intense smooth going on right now. I think I want a little plain fat here. Because there's still some pecs under here. Let's go for a bigger brush here. Slightly more aggressive in the way we can smash out some forms. Let's grab that slash tool again. Oh my god, this slash tool is so good. I still want this. Yeah, I think that's feeling awesome. Nice, and just hack away a little bit of that. Breaking my rules. Trying to get used to using the S button to bring up my size menu. What I said I was going to do here was come in and do some plain artwork. Let's do that. I feel like I'm at that point now. So I'm going to grab my trim dynamic and just plane out some of these forms. Move. Nope. Move. I'm trying to soften out some of those shapes. Ooh, someone's popped in for a chat. Hey, Oz. That's very kind of you, Oz. I don't think that's the case. I am consciously getting better. That's the whole point of these little sessions, just to kind of make sure that I'm, making time to improve. Yeah, I think he's starting to feel quite nice. So I want to get in and just tighten up some of those forms on his face. I need to reposition those teeth as well, don't I? quite that far. Oh, that's a nice hot tea. Ooh. Using my S button to change my draw size like a pro. Yeah, I do, Oz. I mean, I think that's really important, and it's one of the great things about ZBrush. There's so many people out there doing this sort of thing. You really do get a lot of opportunity to see what other people are up to. I'm trying to make changes to a subtool that I'm not actually selected like an asshole. Yeah, I watch video tutorials all the time. It's great to see new kind of techniques and tools. I use video tutorials a lot when I'm stuck as well. Like if I know I'm trying to do a certain thing and I can't quite figure it out, tutorials are ace. And I've got a couple of go-tos. Like I've mentioned Sean Forsyth on this channel before, on this chat before. Sean's great. Very, very kind of sort of learner-focused tutorials from Sean. Kind of want to get rid of some of this here. Get a little bit more of this human element in here. That little curve around the eye, around the nose is kind of useful for just getting those forms feeling right. Just discovered the slash tool. I kind of was thinking about this shit in my sleep, which I do quite a lot, kind of on the way to sleep. And as much as I love Dan Standard, it wasn't doing the things that I kind of wanted from it. So I spent a little bit of time in this session playing around with different tools. I found the slash tool, and it's you find it in the light in brushes. Where you at scales? No, pen. I can't even see it slash here. I jumped onto this one, but I might actually give this. Let's see what this one does. Nope, that's doing things that I don't understand. No, I don't understand that. Let's come back into it. And what slash tool is this really nice kind of, and I can be really aggressive, and it makes these lovely cuts. It's great for just I kind of like to just sketch out the edges of form sometimes, and this is giving me a nice controlled cut. I can play around with my stroke. I've got this set to a lazy 13. I maybe want to grab a little smooth on there and see how that looks. Yeah, that's going to soften my entry. Oh, too aggressive now on my smooth tool. And I really like that I can kind of smash in kind of quite aggressive moves. Then it feels like making a cut with a knife. These little fatty sections at the edge of the mouth worked up. I can probably turn that lazy mouse down a little. So things like that, I'm starting to figure out functions in ZBrush, and it is helping out. I need way more geometry on this head. Brows kind of coming like this. I want to pop eyebrows on this guy. I think that's going to make me kind of feel a little better. So I'm going to do that as a separate subtool. Where's my move brush? A slap tool. I would love a slap tool in ZBrush. If anybody is out there who has the ability to make a tool that looks like you've slapped your clay. Especially during those early stages, we put with traditional clay, we punch and we bop and do all these wild things. I'm starting to fall in love with the deformation menu as well, because we can do things like this. It's not going to stretch stuff out. What I want is to add a taper to this other way, so I can add a little softening to the edge there. Let's push it back. That's not what I wanted. The taper was moving across 2 lines there. I wanted to move across just one. And I picked the wrong one. You know what? I'm just going to do it with move. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. I want to get a bit of a proper bend in here. Something like that. I'm going to grab my match mover here, which is somewhere down here. Match move. Where you at? Matchmaker. Always call it match move. What matchmaker can do, if you kind of hover a subtool over a thing and then just drag that across it, what it does is it'll fold it back across. Now, mine was poorly positioned there, so I need to just do a little reposition. Do me, and that will just make it conform to the shape underneath it, which is kind of useful. So I can just pop that in there, and there we go. That's starting to feel slightly eyebrowish. Ooh, like that. I'm gonna come in and just really kind of aggressively smash that into a flatter position, and then I need to play around with the shape. Yeah, you're right, Oz. I mean, the best thing about ZBrush and the worst thing about ZBrush is how all-encompassing and how powerful it is. I mean, it's such an incredible tool. It really is. It has the ability to make anything if you know the right moves or the right words to kind of describe what it is that you're trying to do. It's just finding them, and I think the only way really to get to a position where you can learn this software is just to accept that you're not going to be able to do those things straight away. You know, it's you can only do what you can do, I think, is the best mantra for this. And once you accept that, and you accept that, like any tool, your progress is measured by how familiar and how comfortable you are with it, it gets easier. I mean, it doesn't get easier, but it becomes less of a chore or less of a problem, I think, is the best way to kind of view this. Much less of a problem, because you're embracing that kind of spirit of discovery. And when you do hit onto finding a tool that you like the look and feel of, it actually gives quite a big endorphin boost. It's ace. You know, finding the slash tool and working that into my workflow genuinely been exciting today. I'm going to pop some Dynamesh on this guy. I need a little bit more resolution than that. Way more resolution than that. Way more than that. That feels good. Yeah, so kind of accepting that you're going to be not great at this for a little while and you're going to have lots of stuff to learn is the best way to go about kind of learning this thing. I don't know whether that feels right, and I don't think Slash Tool was the right tool to be diving in with there at all. I think I'm going to block in some forms with my build-up. Get another little aggressive move. I mean, these early stages of anything, I mean, this is what I do like about ZBrush is that this feels like an entirely different sculpture. I'm just doing the eyebrow, whereas on a kind of regular trad sculpture, this would feel like a chore, like it would be something that I just chuck in. Whereas I'm actually taking the time with ZBrush to kind of finesse these moves and get them right. I will never, ever leave my damn standard. I love this guy. Let's see how those look when we jump into geometry, modify topology. I'm going to hit mirror and weld, so he's got two of those little eyebrows. And there we go, we kind of yeah, I'm starting to enjoy that a little bit. Still lots and lots and lots to do on this guy. I can't wait to start doing clothes on this guy, but I've got to address the hands, I've got to address the feet, and I am, as always, putting those elements off. So let's make a concerted effort. Let's be grown-ups and let's tackle the things that we don't like doing. Ugh, I hate being a grown-up sometimes. But that's why I'm gonna work my way into it. Let's jump into the arms for a second, because these guys haven't had much attention either. I still want this guy to feel relatively powerful, so I'm going to map in some musculature here. Just turn that right up for this little move. How are you going anyway, Oz? I think it's just me and you here, so, I mean, we can just chat if you like. I think this is where Slash Tool is going to come in real handy. So I'm just going to hack out this area here. That muscle is defining a little more. I'm gonna move these arms a little as well, I think, because I'm gonna be crashing a lot, so I'm gonna just grab a little positioned nicely. That's going to make my life a little easier and harder because I've got all of this kind of weird compression to deal with, but now I can kind of hook out under those. Yeah, I hear that, Oz. The hardest thing is kind of having a plan, and I kind of talked about this a little bit kind of in the last session. I mean, I can only talk about sort of my experience and the things that I do. But just kind of, I know that I am extrinsically motivated. If I said to myself, on Fridays, I'm going to spend 3 hours just sculpting in ZBrush to get better, I might do it for the first week. And I, set a little reminder on my phone and, sit down, make everything easy to do. And I probably would do it for a week or two. And then one week I'd get busy and something would pop up and I'd silence that alarm on my phone, and then before I know it, it's one of those phantom alarms on my phone that keep going off and I can't actually remember what it was for. So I kind of, these sessions, if I timetable a session, I know that I'm going to do it because I feel a responsibility to my students and I mean, weirdly to people, if I've got a posted schedule that says to random people I've never met on the internet that I'm going to be doing this thing now at this time of day every week, then I kind of feel beholden to those random internet people that I've never met, and it helps. I kind of feel like, I have to do this now. So I'm kind of forcing my agenda onto other people and making that enable me to be better at this stuff. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it does. Find mechanisms that allow you to focus on the things that you want and need to do. I think you and I are quite similar in quite a few ways there, Oz, that, that extrinsic motivation is an important factor in how we'll do. You strike me as the sort of person that would do for other people more than you would do for your, oh shoot, that went off a cliff, didn't it? There's some little holes there. Let's give those a little closey close. Excellent, fixed it. So tap into that, if you say you're gonna do something, if you're good at doing things for other people, if you're extrinsically motivated rather than intrinsically motivated, harness that. It's not for you anymore that you do these things, it's for other people. And then you can, I don't know, I mean, maybe that's really bad. I think it possibly is, because we need to figure out how to be intrinsically motivated. But I mean, I'm stumped on that front. I find it incredibly difficult to do things that are important for me. So I'm tricking my brain. And that's why I'm hanging out and I'm doing 2 zebra sessions a week and hopefully getting better and better and better. That's going to make me a better artist. It's going to make me a better teacher. And hopefully we're all happy when we're good at shit. You know, if we're good at something, we want to do it more. We're good at something, we want to kind of keep getting better at it. And I think that kind of once that ball is rolling, I talk quite a lot about momentum. Momentum is key. I mean, once we can get that, and getting momentum started is incredibly difficult. So I think if I can trick my brain into doing stuff that it then gets kind of used to, and it's like, oh, this is just what we do now. Once I've got momentum going, it's quite easy to maintain that because you're kind of in the habit of doing it. Stupid brain's getting ahead of our plans. What is it you're working on right now, Alice? Is it your industry project? Notice how I came down to do the hands, and I've ignored them completely because I'm a horrible human being and I will constantly avoid the things that I don't want to do, no matter how important they are. That's the hard thing, man. It's good that you're identifying these as problems, as kind of hurdles to overcome. And the worst that kind of organization, that foresight, the amount of times something I'll do, I'll be like, oh, this would be a cool idea. Oh, I've got to wait. And then when you've got to wait, it kills momentum. We're back into that whole kind of cycle of not doing. I would suggest kind of whenever you make that list, kind of submit it and know that it'll be there kind of next time, but then kind of still force yourself to do the thing, to go into the space, and even if it is just to kind of jump on one of the computers and work on some ZBrush, or do something adjacent, keep momentum going. Because as soon as that momentum drops off, you're screwed, McGrewed. You've got to kind of build it all up again. And that's half of the energy in any project, just momentum. This area under here I'm not happy with, but it's getting better. And I've blocked out some work on the arms. I'm going to do a little hide on all... Oh no, not like that. Like that. Yep, I'll just leave those visible for me. I want to take a little look at some squirrel hands before I dive into here too hard. I know the kind of feel I want for these hands though, so I can map out some little steps. let me just grab browser and squirrel hands images. These guys look like they're trying to give high fives, and I love it. The Daily Mail Online. No, abort. Yeah, that's a very very ADHD trait. It's a different type of momentum, I think, compared to kind of the creative energy. Actually try and get into the studio, make that a part of the habit, even if there's, you're having to address not actually having materials ready, not actually being able to do things. And that's hard as well, because you've got to kind of walk into the workshop and see everybody's faces, go, oh, what are you up to today? And you go, ugh, I got my material request in late, so nothing. But I'm going to find something to do and like work on practice. And, even if it's just, even if you're sculpting something practically, if you've not got the materials to hand, jump into ZBrush and work on it digitally. It's a practice, it's a rehearsal, and it's a momentum building exercise. I'm finding it terrible. I'm having a terrible time trying to find squirrel hands. Let's see that. There was a great one on the Daily Mail website, and I refuse to go and look at it. This one is blurry as awful. They have these like 4 little pads that I'm digging. I'm just gonna wink it. I'm gonna try to find reference. Yeah, that's the hard thing, is kind of going into that workspace, is watching other people get on and knowing that you've fucked up and you've not ordered your stuff. But I think that adds that kind of feeling of kind of frustration, adds to the kind of accountability-ness of it. You're visibly reminding yourself that this thing that you struggle to do. And again, we know this is neurological. This is something that most people with ADHD do suffer from. And I'm not about kind of mentally flagellating yourself for being a bit shit at these things. But I'm kind of, what I'm saying is kind of let your brain see the results and kind of be in that space and have accountability and have humility and just kind of go, it's not done, but I've ordered it now, it'll be here tomorrow, and I'm just here to kind of keep moving, maintaining momentum. Does that track? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. There's some gross things going on with the knuckles here. This one is too high, but then there's too little going on here. Excited to get my new tool going over here. Let's turn that intensity down a smidge, I think. It's not the I think it is the intensity. Draw size down, intensity up. See, the slash tool has allowed me to really carve out. I'm a big fan. Again, part of getting that kind of, it's still momentum. I mean, having the creative drive isn't something that we should rely on as being an external thing. Don't wait for that shit. And I think we're kind of trained throughout our lives to believe that creativity is something unique and special and requires a certain mind. And whilst all of that is helpful for creativity, the most important factor for being creative is graft. It's about kind of making the decisions in your life that allow you to be creative easily. And I think that's a big kind of step in the right direction. Just kind of being able to kind of force yourself to do the work. And what am I doing here? Everything's gonna lock onto that one. I want to put some fingernails on this. I'm not sure they're wise words, Oz. They are the words. The words. I think that's the best we can describe it. I mean, all I can do is speak about experience or speak from my experience. And I'm terrible. You know, I have spent years of my life kind of beating myself up for not being as driven and as motivated as, you know, some of my contemporaries and some of my peers. It's really hard because you see them being amazing, you see them getting better, and you're constantly kind of berating yourself for not being as good. And you know, I think being an artist is very difficult. You know, I mean, being lots of things, being anything is very difficult, in fairness, because you've got to commit to it. But you know, my life experience is that, you know, I have spent time focusing on the wrong things, and I didn't enjoy that. And kind of making those mistakes and fighting those fights, and you know, it's only through, you know, introspection, acknowledging the areas where I'm not brilliant. You know, I'm good at quite a lot of things. You know, but you know, by acknowledging the areas where I do struggle, by understanding my own mental health. You know that I've been recently diagnosed with ADHD myself. You know, and trying to listen to people who've been through similar experiences and see what they do. I mean, stealing tips and stealing power from other people is, you know, a valid part of what we do. I think it was Picasso that said that a good artist borrows from his contemporaries, a great one steals. And that can be ideas, but I think more often than not, that's kind of practice. You know, how we deal with our lives. You know, stealing techniques for being better is totally legit. Oh, I'm actually enjoying these hands. I think the slash tool has changed my life a little bit, and I'm using it way too much. But that's a really fun little block out. I've kind of they feel close enough to human, but I've definitely had some nods towards the squirreliness. I'm gonna make some nails, so I'm gonna grab a subtool, insert, and that's gonna be. Let's move this to down here and get zoomed in again. I want these to be quite slightly squirrely, sort of almost like a claw. but not too much. I'm going to spend a little time finding a position that I enjoy here. Snigger. Yeah, I feel like I'm happy there. It's got that move. What's my D&D class? As in me personally, or what characters do I play? I also love that you're having that argument. It makes me feel like you guys know me well enough to know that, priorities in life when you're getting to know somebody is, find out how they play D&D. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait. I mean, I did once kind of go through and start to do my own kind of personal D&D stats. I'm quite Dexy. Yeah, definitely a Dex-based class. But yeah, I play quite a few characters at the minute, so you're going to have to refine some elements of your question there, buddy. Also, if you're all in the room, I mean, all of you should be getting on the chat. You can all ask me questions, and also bump my numbers, because I mean, they suck right now. Not that this is about numbers, but I mean, it'd be nice for loads of people to want to come and watch this shit. Oh, fuck, lost it again. I feel like that's not a bad start for a nail. I'm breathing! I've never played a bard. I'm building up. I'd want to. I think bards are a very special breed, and if you do it properly, you need to, be incredibly quick, kind of quick-witted, and maybe this is just me thinking of stereotypical bards, but yeah, I think that the speed of thinking needs to be, top tier when you're a bard, and I always feel like my brain runs too slow. I'm quite good at kind of, strategizing and thinking what my character would do if I had a little bit of time, and I think bards are a little bit more spontaneous than that. Maybe that's just me. I'm not going to linger too much on these fingernails. I'm just going to start to copy them across. I'm going to duplicate that. I currently play in, let me think, 3-4 games. Some of those games have been playing for a very long time, and I think one of them has stalled a little bit, but I've got a Dragonborn monk, Kensei monk, who is of a noble background. He's a disgraced general, and I managed to learn some Dragonborn for that. So he's constantly calling people Montrekis or Monkeyborns. Anytime someone refers to him as a Dragonborn, to be honest, he gets pretty pissed with them. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Love playing a monk. Super dexy, super fast, lots of punches in one go. My favourite character at the minute is one called Leaf. He is a warlock with a Fey patron. and he's just so much fun. He's very, very light. It's almost like a comedy game that we play, and it's not a comedy game really. It's very serious, but a lot of the characters are kind of quite light-hearted, and he's very much a comedy relief character. But he's got, I mean, our DM's taken us down kind of quite a dark route with him, and yeah, and I love him. He's so much fun to play, and he's so kind of irreverent, and every time anyone asks him about his past, I give them the backstory of a Disney movie. So he has, I think, told people that he was once a street rat, and he fell in love with a princess and took her on his magic carpet, which was pretty fun. Yeah, lots of little silly touches like that. So yeah, my Warlock's ace. I love Eldritch Blast. I can ping from very, very, very far away with my Eldritch Blast, which makes me happy. Oh no, I didn't duplicate that. What an absolute ball bag. Nerd. Yeah, we all are nerds, so shut up. What am I going to do here? I'm going to go all the way back through my history till it's in the same place. I'm going to duplicate it there, and then I'm going to grab the old one, which should be that one, and I'm going to smash that forward through its history, so I don't have to do any of that work again. Half-elf or tiefling bard. I love tieflings. I've always hated elves, and I'm actually starting to come. I think as I'm getting older, I'm starting to get why elves are so kind of aloof and wanky. It's because they've been around for a really long time, and you get to know shit, and everybody who doesn't know that shit feels kind of a little like a child. It's real. I'm kind of getting elves at the minute. Let's merge some of these guys down. Who else do I play at the minute? I've got a new game started where I play a shifter, and that's kind of what Gus is all about. Gus is one of my friend's characters, and he is a shifter with a background of squirrel. This person is incredibly chaotic when they make characters, and I adore them for it. It's got some nice little fingernails going on there. So yeah, my guy is what sort of shifter is he? Not a long claw. Oh, God, gods, I can't remember. But yeah, he's a shifter. He's ace. He has his shifter form is based on a werewolf. Not a werewolf. That's all shifters, lycanthropes. A hyena, and hyenas come from a very matriarchal society. So he defers all of his decision making to the lady in the group. Which I'm super enjoying because my wife plays the only lady in the group. Everyone in that group has an intelligence of -1, I think, at the highest. So we aren't the smartest of parties. But anytime kind of my guy's pretty good at kind of tactics and hunting and things like that. But anytime he suggests something, he's overruled, and happily so. He's happy to be overruled by Miss Rain. Oh yes, Miss Rain, what's a great idea? Oh, you're so smart. Like, what was I even thinking? So stupid. Yeah, he's ace. I'm really enjoying playing him, but I think he's at level 4. The Leaf is my Tabaxi Warlock is at level 10 now, so he's getting somewhere. He's starting to get some really cool abilities as well. Still only 2 spell slots, which is appalling. But that Eldritch Blast keeps me going. I can just bit people from across the map. Leaf also has a cursed sword, which is a very, very cool invention from my DM. It's pretty powerful. I think because he is so dexy, I'm at like a +10 or something to hit with it. But every time he gets a kill, we roleplay some sort of kind of negative effect from the sword. Like he's kind of starting to get a bit bloodlusty, which isn't in his nature. He's a very light-hearted, jovial person. He does have a kind of lot going on in the background, but the party is now getting to see him be a little bit more aggy, and I'm hoping that'll lead down some interesting roleplay opportunities. It's always nice to see a light-hearted character have to deal with some darker kind of stuff. And he's also in love or falling in love with one of the other players in that game. He's got a real crush on Clix, who is a Aarakocra monk, and Clix doesn't remember much about his backstory. And they've just started bonding and just having really nice little chats together out of combat. In the last episode, we've got a little bit jealous because he was trying to do really nice things for the whole party, and he wanted to get Clix some bracelets of defense, and there was all sorts of things going on. And it turns out one of the other party members, rather than Leaf buying the bracelets of defense like he was planning on doing with a 5,000 gold that he stole and didn't tell anybody about, one of the other party members blagged the bracelets of defense. So Leaf was pissed, and then at the end of that episode we got into a massive fight that Leaf started. We could have avoided that, but he basically shouted at all the tank guards that this is where he was, and asked whether the weapon that he was carrying was illegal. And so yeah, it's all going to kick off. And yeah, there's lots going on with that game. My DM for that game is bloody wonderful as well. I've hit the end of my music. 1 second. I'm going to have a little read of some chats as well. Dorian is always the asshole of the group. I mean, I don't want to say that doesn't really surprise me that much. I think I'm familiar with the brand of chaos that you subscribe to. I wouldn't have put you down as an asshole of the group, but definitely kind of like nobody knows what's going to happen when it's your turn. I think you are an enemy of DMs, just because of all the potential that I would imagine that you can unleash with your particular brand of chaos. Last time ended up playing Eating Very Dead Horse. Wow. Eating very dead horses and having an entourage of multiple different animals. His name was Gary, and he died. Yeah, I mean, that definitely tracks into the brand of chaos that I was just discussing. That feels very you. And I love that. Eating dead horses. One of the guys I play with is very, very chaotic. And it's kind of awesome to see what happens and to see how the DM is able to deal with that. I think someone needs to get Oz into a D&D game. I mean, we could run one at work, one day or night, maybe over a slightly quieter period, if we can ever find one. All right, so those hands have had a little bit of attention. I feel like I've been a good boy and done my duty. I'm going to step away from them for a little while. So I've hidden a bunch of stuff here. I need to go find it again. So I'm going to in modified topology. How do I review hidden things? Might have to go and Google that. This might have ruined everything. ZBrush. Unhide. Control-Shift-Click on the canvas. There we go. And he's back. Yeah, those hands don't feel great yet, but I mean, in that shot, from that angle they do, from the side, I think there needs to be some work on the fingers. But he's doing all right. No. Character creation you can get done in minutes, Oz. It depends on how in depth you want to go. I mean, my wife is kind of plays in quite a couple of my games, and she's notorious for not being great at backstory and not really kind of putting the shift in when it comes to character creation. But she's a busy lady, and I think she hadn't realised how much of it kind of we do on the fly. you don't need to understand everything about your character from the start. You just need to kind of know and have a feel for how they would react in certain situations, or yeah, you need to have a feel for them in the round. You know, a couple of little backstory kind of points are useful, but it doesn't have to be super in depth. It really, yeah, it doesn't have to be super in depth. And then over time, you have conversations with your DM, and as the game plays, you're like, oh, this would be kind of fun. And you tweak stuff. And, you know, I've got a little Trello page that I kind of keep notes on whenever an idea pops into my head. I pop it in there. I mean, bring it up. Let's grab a browser that isn't being used. This one, why not? I have a Trello page, not a Trello page. Oh my goodness, not a Trello page. Oh, I've not logged in on this machine since I've done a... Oh, this is the right one. Where am I? So this is all of the characters that I've played. Well, not all of them, but a few. I've not got one in for. I've actually don't have one for my new guy. But you can see here, this is stuff that. This is something my DM sent me. This is me kind of adding to his backstory, but that was over time. I think that was like a little paragraph at the start. But like little things like this. I don't like the gods. You know, little stories that I want to get him to tell. You know, the fact that he was a sailor for a little while, or he thought he was a sailor, and then as he starts to tell that story, he realizes that he was a pirate. Here we go. Some of my backstories. No. I was a prince in my hometown, but my father wanted me to marry a princess, but she was fat and rude and really quite fat, so I ran away with a street rat on her magic carpet. He was the princess in that particular version. You know, I think some of the backstory stuff is genuinely quite fun. I had a lot of... my dad was a right-hand man for the emperor, but I thought he was dead, but some crazy old wizard, he gave me a magic sword. Star Wars. I've been through a bunch of Disney backstories. I think I've told the Moana one, but then I've thrown in some bits about his family, but this was, you know, a year into the game. Yeah, I mean, little things like this. I've spoken to my DM, and at some point I want Leaf to start a dance fight. I want him to cast command and be all serious, and then be like, dance fight me, motherfucker. And I just think it'll be stupid and brilliant. And hopefully everybody else will join in. Little things like things I want to say. Really enigmatically be like, hey, they have to find me to know I'm hiding. Before he goes into there's lots of... So the stuff like this builds over time. Marit is my Dragonborn. And, you know, I started off with, like, little phrases that he says a lot. When he introduces himself formally. And here's I'm 37 years Marie, son of a rope line of Corsair, commander of the Crimson Lance and general in the 37 Gaish army. You call me Marie. And I get to, you know, this stuff is fun. The actual character creation I use D&D Beyond for. And the character builder here, it does most of the legwork for you. Oh, this is my wife's account. Let's sign out. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, there's loads of ways to get into it. I mean, character creation is a big part of kind of getting started, but it isn't a kind of huge thing. You know, you can do as little or as much. Ugh, that was the wrong one. Wait, no, it wasn't. Collections. There you go. So I don't think I've got space for another. So it's this easy. And then you just kind of click through, and you can read about all of the ones that you've got options for, and you just start putting it together. It's great if you've got someone next to you who knows the game, but you could just sit and play. Oh, I've put my pen down somewhere whilst I was doing that chat, and I don't know where I put it. Where could you have gone? Yeah, just rolled back here. Trello's great. It really is good for everything. It's only as good as you kind of use it to be, though. You kind of, you know, if you're not diving in and using it particularly often, it loses some of its power. But for the most part, it's a really cool little organizational tool. Right, let's spend a bit of time hanging out on his legs, because I've been ignoring these as well. That's a bit more weight on that bit. I mean, there's nothing going on his gooch. Something tends to open that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, if you've got a Marcus or a Dora around, you know, those guys have played before, they know. I mean, you can watch videos on optimizing your character builds, but I mean, I'd like to have characters that aren't that optimized. You know, one of my DMs, I think both of them do this rule now, and it's something that I do whenever I DM. I don't make people roll for stats. I just let them pick. Just pick whatever stats you want. As long as one of them's a negative, and you don't go stupid. I mean, I want characters that are fun to play. I want people to enjoy being characters, and I want people to feel like heroes. And my DMs kind of subscribe to that same methodology. But I don't like having super optimized characters. So all of my characters, even if a DM doesn't request it, will have at least one stat in the negatives. And that kind of means that, you know, a character with a weakness has to rely on the people around them. Let me soften this out again. You know, don't make your characters too edgy and lonersome. Nothing worse than trying to integrate a edgelord loner into a group. Remember, it's a team game. We want characters that are happy to be part of a team. And you know, edgelord loners can work, but they need to be somehow motivated to be part of a team and work for a team. Let me see here. I really don't want to do feet. Alright, I'll do it. I'm going to flatten them off a little. Do a quick round in trim dynamic on these. Funny little arm twists. Again, I treat the trim dynamic as kind of like a carving tool. I'm taking off material and I'm planing out forms. Some shin stuff going on here. I want that to kind of curve around a little. I feel like I've given you another distraction there, Oz. If you're going to have a mooch later. No, more distractions for the person with ADHD. But I mean, yeah, you'll have fun. I mean, at the very worst, I mean, D&D is one of those things that I use to recharge my creative batteries. You know, it's, at the very least, it's a subject material for my play. You know, this is a character from one of my games. I mean, again, very ADHD response. All of these plans to do stuff, and then it's like, yeah, I got distracted. I've been meaning to fix my toilet upstairs for probably 6 months now. But life's real busy, and I keep forgetting. Turn that up and really smash this out a little. Ugh, this feels horrid. It's this little section on the inside. There's a gross bit of form here that I'm not vibing with at all. Yeah, those jobs, man. We'll have to look at squirrel feet again. Sorry, let me see where I'm. This one. This is where my squirrel hands were kept. It's a four-fingered jobby. Let's have a look and see whether the feet are the same. Feet. Ooh, yeah. 4 hands. There's actual squirrel feet just. Okay, so they actually have much longer feet. Let's get some pads. In fact, let's grab this slash tool and figure this out. So we're going to have. Let's go a bit bigger and a bit more intense. I'm going to build a plane. That looks like the inside, so I'll have that roll. And then some big old pads on the toes. I can do the toes separately in a second. I think I need to do a little move on these feet. I think I'm on a reasonable path here. I need to flatten that bottom of those off again, but I'm gonna get some toes in. Let's give that a little zoom out and see how he feels. I think that toe, the big toe, feels horrendously wrong. Yeah, it does. Let's make it much smaller. That feels kind of nice. Once I get some claws in there, I think he'll feel pretty good. So I'm going to merge all of those together. Oh, no I'm not. I'm going to do this first. Merge down, down, down. So that's the 4. And then I'm going to come over to here into my geometry. I'm going to mirror and weld. Now I can merge those to the rest of the body. Do a quick animation. This is all the same thing now. It's nearly time for another brew, I think. Last half hour on this. I'm going to pop this on. We'll be right back. Do it, Oz. Get working. Alright, turn this off, get back in. I think this mound on the top of the foot is a little gross. Let's try and get that plane down. Make all of this feel a little bit homogeneous. That's a good line. And then I can start to come in with my clay build up and go, hey, I want some little bit of weight here. I'm really enjoying this guy today. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully my friend will dig him too. Let's grab that slash tool again. Tidy up some of this. Could probably turn that intensity back down. These are going to look much nicer once I've got some, little sketch over his gooch there. These are going to feel much nicer once they've got toenails on them. Just take a big look at him in the round again. This inner bit is wild. It's a lot of things that I'm not happy with here. Feels like I need a bit more weight on that as well. feels nicer. Alright, let's get a plane off the bottom of these. Gobbets of pale yellow mucus. I mean, yeah, cheap blues. It's always a gamble. I'm going to jump up here and just grab one of these. I'm going to duplicate first and split some master points. Then I can delete that, and then I've got this guy that I can just pop back down to my toes. Saves me re-sculpting a toenails. And that feels like a fairly reasonable starting point for a toe claw. That feels okay. not okay, but it felt okay. Alright, I'm just gonna... Let's take a little look and see how that feels. They're a little aggressive, they're not too bad though. Happy to merge some of those down now. Merge. That's 4. And then we can geometry. Mirror weld. Second session on a character always takes a lot longer. You're tidying up forms, you're refining things, you're actually finally getting around to work on hands and feet. I feel like I've been quite grown up today. I do want to just pop back to some of my reference here, because I think this guy needs some sort of hairdo. I mean, he's going to be all furry. Notice how I'm kind of moving dramatically away from those. I mean, that's kind of perfect to start off with. Alright, let's get in. So I'm going to stick with my trim dynamic. I'm going to go nice and big here. I'm going to make sure my symmetry is turned on. I'm going to go real big. And I'm going to make this thing hair-shaped. I'm going to want asymmetry in the hair, but for these first moves, I'm just blocking things out. Just trying to find rough hairlines that I like the feel of. I need a little bit more geometry on this. Feels like it's probably too much, but we can add so much kind of fun by throwing in hair. I'm going to jump into my favourite new brush. Yeah, we spent a little bit of time tightening up some of those facial features. I've been looking at John Candy a lot. Again, it fits in with the character, and I think I'm flirting with doing a likeness sculpt at some point. So I think part of me is kind of in that mindset where if I can sneak up on a lot of those skills and see how I do, it won't be such a painful experience when I actually come round to finally doing the thing that I should be doing. Again, it's part of that kind of tricking my brain into doing stuff that I want it to do, that it's too shit or scared or unable to do on its own. Still getting used to how this slash tool works, but I'm digging it so far. It's very aggressive though. I think it's something I have to be aware of, not to get too into it. It really does a number on the topology as well. Yeah, he's starting to feel really, really fun. I think getting those eyebrows on today and the hair's really helped. Wow, that's a wild move. Geometry reorganized, and I can not going to spend ages on this hair. I just wanted this, I mean, just wanted to chuck some shapes in there so that he feels a bit more interesting, but a bit more balanced as a character. Let's grab this slash tool again. Yeah, we put way too much emphasis on deciding to do things, and I think I listened to something recently, not recently actually, it was a long time ago. So I've had quite a lot of time for it to kind of percolate in my brain, about kind of free will, in that we don't possess it. You know, our body chemistry is such that, and the way we perceive reality is such that what we feel like are conscious decisions are actually pretty much preordained in our brains. We make the decision and then we rationalize it. And this was a kind of quite a cool study where they looked at MRI scans and saw that people were actually using that section of their brain to make the decision before realizing it, and then they would kind of then go on and act on that decision. And I think the more we can kind of take our consciousness out of some of our decision making, you know, the better that is. But yeah, my brain wants me to, not doesn't want me to sit on the sofa, but will let me just kind of go and, you know, chill out, and lets me kind of get away with things, or tells me I'm too shit to do things. I mean, it tells that, yeah, I get that the shit thing a lot. I mean, but I think that's part of my practice as an artist, and that kind of keeps me safe as well. You know, acknowledging my shitness, not being, I'd never want to be the sort of guy that thinks I'm amazing. You know, when I'm actually just average, or, you know, the sort of person that kind of blows their own trumpet about stuff. I think I'm okay at this kind of sculpture business. I'm enjoying it. I like doing it, but I wouldn't say that I'm an expert. I'm not, you know, the best at this, and there are so many people out there that are spectacular artists. You know, I'm just me, just mooching away doing my thing, and I think having kind of avoiding the stress of that, the stress of kind of decision making, and is very helpful to that. Let's get this back a little further for it to really feel. I don't know where that chat was going. I was trying to respond to your question, but I don't think I did. Let's pop his tail back on. We've got a little bit of time left. We can have a little look at this in the round. Grab a little render, see how he feels. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff going on there. We've refined a lot today. Done a lot of legwork. Grab a full frame render. still got work to do on lots of elements of this guy. But right now he's feeling like I'm kind of, I've blocked. I think I'm done with my blocking out stage. I kind of like the way this guy feels. There's still some attention needed here. But everything's kind of had a little pass, apart from his tail, which, I mean, I can work on. Let's do a little bit now, shall we? We can overrun some. Yeah, some decisions are too important to let your brain be in charge of them, or your conscious brain. I mean, the whole kind of theory of kind of we don't make conscious decisions, and what we can affect and what we can control is our preparation. We can get ourselves ready to do things. We can put ourselves in a situation where it's easier to do these things that are important to us. But actually, it's too much geometry on that. What I want is a really big trim down the here, because I want that to feel like one plane. Lots to sort out there, but it's a little noise on the tail for us to look at. Mickey's looking kind of great. What I'm going to do before I get out to any further stages with this is tidy up my subtool menus, and I'm gonna want to So increase the size of that head and hands, I think. Maybe we'll just do that after we've posed. Feet feel like they need a bit more attention, but that could be for next session. Well, there you go. Gustav the Were-Squirrel is well on the way. I'm gonna go pick my kids up. Ooh, I'll give that a look. I was a happy child. Make a note. Yeah, I mean, today was kind of fun. I will do some more next time. I'll probably grab this guy on Wednesday, depending on what Paul wants to do. If not, it'll be next Friday by the time we get onto this guy. But so far, this guy's had, 3 hours today, probably an hour and a half last session. So 4.5 hours in, and I'm feeling pretty confident that guy's mostly blocked out. Yep, maybe next time we'll get to kind of refining that skin, and then we can start making some clothes for him and some weapons and things. It should be a blast. Those of you that hung out, thanks for hanging out. Those of you who are watching on the video, I'm live on Friday afternoons and Wednesday evenings. Come check it out and grab a chat with us. I'm gonna go. Bye.